I felt no remorse as I held his head underneath the water as he needed to learn a lesson. I pulled his head up for a few seconds so that he could catch his breath before submerging him once again. I had been doing this for almost an hour and he still hadn't told me what I want to hear. He just looked at me confused and then repeating the same word again and again. Thankfully, no one was home to witness this. His mother had left to go to shopping and I knew she wouldn't be home for hours. I would be able to keep without any interruption. I once again pulled him out of the water and waited to hear what he wanted to say this time. I signed as he once again said "Mama" before shoving my 1-year-old son's head back under the water until he learned to say "Dada." In 1994, a man never brushed his teeth since he was a teenager, to the point where he would not even bother to deal with his yellow teeth. He was sad that he couldn't smile for photos, so he was really depressed, so he stayed in his home all the time. One day, while he was eating, he had sudden pain in his mouth. He didn't bother to check it, so he continued eating it. But an hour later, he had that pain in his mouth again. But it slowly got worse. Soon his mouth tasted like blood, and he rushed to the bathroom to look in the mirror. And he saw blood everywhere, and teeth falling out one by one. The pain was so bad he died of shock. When the police looked at his dead body on the floor with blood flowing out of his mouth, they noticed the teeth were yellow and covered in cavities. When they looked more in the mouth, they saw a large cavity so bad it took up half the mouth. They soon buried the man in the community graveyard, and since that day, cases of people dying increased. The one strange thing is that all the teeth of the victims were missing. It was believed that the man's spirit was killing the people to get the teeth so that he could smile again. One family member said the night of the murder they heard a voice saying, "Please, I just want to smile." I was sitting on my bed. It was raining very hard and sounded like the roof was about to give in. I continued to play with my bear. I could hear my father snoring, which was so loud it had shocked the house. I could hear the dog barking and my mom huffing. It was very hot that day. I am from Mississippi, which is very hot until January. I looked at my time and it was almost midnight. I had decided to go to bed since the next day I had to go to school. So I snatched my blanket and covered my whole body, including my head. I heard a door open and I was scared. It could have been my mom, but I still would not uncover my face. I heard a branch thump against my window. I still would not take the chance of looking. I heard my bookshelf thump against the wall, which was normal, since it's very old, though who would be in my room at this time of night? Both my parents had work in the morning. Then I left my blanket move. I grabbed it and held it against my right cheek. It had snatched my blanket. It was so cold, I felt a presence, but not a nice or good one. This was different. I got the courage to take my blanket off, which was a stupid idea. I saw it. It was tall. It had a black top hat. He was wearing a suit. Then it hit me. It looked like the photo of my great-grandfather. I didn't realize that until a couple of years later. He stood at the edge of my bed and got me a book out of the bookshelf and read it to me. This happened for a while, maybe 3 years.